Okay, so welcome everybody to the call today on Thursday. Hold on, let me let this gentleman in. Today I'm just going to kind of remind you guys that, we do have that conference coming up in the 2022. It's here in Miami. So if you guys haven't registered, please do let me know that you have registered so that I know that you guys are on your way and you're coming. I want to make sure that we, meet up as a group and do all of that stuff that, we can introduce ourselves to each other. Okay. Kind of do a little bit of a community meetup. I know it's in a few months, but it's always good to be prepared, right? So today I want to go over our numbers. So for our agency, it looks like, we had about 1, 2, 3, let me actually move this over here. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 agents that have, went into the field last week. So I have Julie M. She had 3 applications for 3,336. Jasmine G. She had left for a little bit, not really left, but taken a little bit of a break and came back. So it's nice to see her back up and working. And she has hold on one second. She has 2 applications for 2,483. I have Pamela S. Nice job. 1 application for 1,756. I have Steve T. 1,387. Shorty has 1 application for, actually 2 applications for 1,380. I have Thomas, 1 application for 765. Sam S. has 1 application for 5. Sorry, I had to let somebody in, 552. And then Edwin, nice job. You have 1 application for 492. Okay, so today the call, I really want to just talk to you guys a little bit about the leads and the CRM. So when it comes to the leads, we all know that the leads are one of the most important parts of our business. We talk about this all the time because those are how you guys are going to get your clients. I do always recommend that if you'd like to, you can do, speak to your family, your friends, things like that, that you can get kind of going. But in order to sustain a business, you have to buy these leads and you have to actually have those people that you're going to see. So, I know that most of you guys go through the leads training, which, Shorty's been doing, which is a great, addition for you guys to get through the CRM, to understand the leads. But I just want to go into a little bit more depth with you guys today about it. And if there's any questions as we go along, just, kind of write them down and we'll answer them at the end. Okay. So for leads, the different types of leads. So I know when people start into the business, they're like, what's a mortgage, final expense, retirement planning, things like that. So, in order for us, to get our insurance license, we all have to go and get, tested, right? And so there's only really 3 types of insurance. So you have the final expense. I mean, the whole life. You have IULs, which are, index universal lives or universal lives, and then you have the term. Okay. We all learned that those are just the 3 types of insurance, but what you allocate the insurance for is kind of what these leads are doing for you. Okay. So for instance, if you get a mortgage lead, what it is, it's a family that has, went and purchased a home and they have their records, with their county, and either they're mailed out to them or some of them are, they get them through the internet. However, you would get that lead back from somebody that has had a home. What you do there, it's not about you have to have like a mortgage insurance. You're covering their loan for them if they die, right? So that would be any type of life insurance that's available, right? But that's the kind of lead that you're using. So when you go into a home, when you're using a mortgage lead, you're going to kind of discuss the importance of protecting that home, right? So the other type that they have is, the final expense leads. Now, final expense is usually from anybody that's 50 to, I would say, maybe about 80, because we can actually do up to 85, and actually with the Aetna do up to 89. But those leads are basically somebody that's, they're in need of, maybe covering a cremation, a funeral. They want to leave like a legacy. So those type of leads are just generated for that specific age group. So when you go into a home and you see, a final expense, you're knowing that you're going to be focusing on, what they want to do when they die. Are they going to be cremated? Are they going to have, burial? What do they want to do, right? Do they want to leave money for their kids? Things like that, that you would discuss with them, right? But that's the type of lead it is, but it's always the life insurance that you're helping them with, right? And that would once again be the whole life, the universal life, and then also the, the term. The other one that, we use a lot of here now is just, well, actually there's two other ones that we use. I would say it was the instant internet leads or just a life insurance lead. That one there, do you know what the family is really looking for? No. So that one takes a little bit. They could be looking for insurance coverage for their home. They could be looking for it for just a legacy, maybe just because they need life insurance. Maybe they want it for burial. So that one there is a little bit, more flexible for you guys, because you can kind of just engage with the client and know, kind of pivot to where their why is. But those ones are actually a really good lead source. And that's just basically like life insurance. And then you have the Facebook ones, and those ones, when you're contacting a client, you just want to make sure that you let them know that you responded to something on Facebook. People are on Facebook all the time. So, you're going to get a lot of traffic from them. And then sometimes they click on it. And the same thing with like the internet leads. But, generally these people are looking for that life insurance. So that's what you're going to kind of go towards, right? So I'm going to kind of get a little bit more into some of the leads. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys here. And we're going to just go into, the CRM. I know you guys do this, but I just want to go into it a little bit more. Okay. So when all of you guys get to the point where you have your carrier, you're going to be entered into the CRM. So with the CRM, you have access to the leads that are in all over the country. So you would see something like, this map here. Okay. So when you're looking at this map, regardless of where you are, you can get leads everywhere, as you can see. Okay. The more you see like the red, that's where there's a lot of leads in that area. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and look here in Ohio. Okay. We're going to look up here and, so like say you're in Columbus, that's Franklin here. So let's go there and see kind of what's available. So you would pick your county. So if you kind of go over the state here, you can kind of see it. It gives you a county wherever you're close to, or wherever has the most red is basically where you're going to go. Okay. So once you click on that county, then you would scroll down here, and this kind of shows all of the leads that are available. Okay. So a new Spanish internet lead, what is that going to do? That's going to be somebody that speaks Spanish. If you don't speak Spanish, don't order them, because most of those families that speak Spanish, they're really looking for somebody that can speak the Spanish language when they're talking. That's why they've requested these. The instant internet leads. So we kind of just touched on those, those are life insurance leads. When you click on here as well, if you go here, it shows you what the cost of them is. Okay. So you can kind of allocate your budget, whatever you want to spend. And this says fresh leads that are updated in the CRM in real time. So what that means is these leads have been pushed into the CRM within the last 24 to 48 hours, right? And then this one here, and these ones are actually really nice. So if, you're like, I want brand new leads, I do encourage you guys to focus on this. The cost point on this $11 is very reasonable for giving you the amount of contacts and appointments that you need, and also your return on investment. When I see some of these, agents that are using these leads and their return on investment, I am just like astonished, because I'm paying a little bit more for my leads. And, I see this and I buy these sometimes. I really, when I want to like supplement and stuff, but I have a lead flow that I've been using every single week for, the last year. And that's what you guys need to do, is you need to get a lead flow that you feel comfortable with and continually do the same thing every single week. But, these $11, and then, we'll talk a little bit more at the end about that work spots, but, adding that in, it's amazing, the price on the leads here. It looks like this county only has one here. So, this one here, the new instant internet life leads. So this just says, they're looking for a quote for basically life insurance, term whole life. Okay. So it says that these are already discounted. So, these are basically people that have, inquired and they're moved from, I would say, here to here, depending. They may have been presented a different type of, ad or something that got their attention. But these ones are the $9, but these ones are really nice. The life internet leads, those are only $4. Okay, so it says here 1 to 3 month old leads. Okay, so what that means is that in the last 30 to 90 days, somebody had filled out this information. Does that mean somebody else has called them? Probably, because you know how this goes. I mean, when you first have a lead that comes in, so for instance, we would say it was, the instant internet lead. These people are paying the $11. They're not just going to let it sit there. I mean, you're going to try to get a hold of the person the most that you can, and then here, maybe that person hasn't answered the phone. Maybe nobody's been able to get a hold of them. You would go to the $4. And then, like I said, on top of that discount, if you do your work spots like suggested, those can be really affordable. This area here is 386. And then here, these ones are 3 to 6 month, and these are only $3. So, with the discount as well, it's basically going for the life insurance for that family. Okay. We have here, so this is a little bit of the mortgage. So for instance, we were kind of talking a little bit about that. We have the mortgage and we have the final expense. So these here are mailers. Okay. So direct mail. So it states here, these are internet. So these would all be through the internet. So when you're getting these ones that you're getting these because they have inquired through the internet. These ones here state direct mail. Okay. So this mortgage here, for instance, it's a 1 month old. So this is 30 to 60 days. Somebody mailed in, a card and, we don't know if somebody has talked to them or not, but, you can give it a shot, right? Here's the mortgage ones for 90 days. And it says it's sold once to a Family First Life agent. So, you can give them a call. Maybe that person hadn't got a hold of them. Maybe it's somebody that was traveling in the area and they weren't able to, continue. You never know. Okay. Mortgage protection here. I'll try that lit up like that. So, this is the 1 month. I have enough looked at that one. But these ones are generated, 60 to 90 days. And then you have these call-in ones. Okay. So these are previously mortgage call-in. So, and these are only, at least 30 days old. So they're still, they're, pretty new, right? So at least 30 days old. These ones here, somebody is mailed and it's in the direct mail, even though the person calls in. This person is mailed out a card and it indicates to them, hey, give this phone number a call. And when they give that person a call, they're going to give them, a special code. They're going to talk to them about the mortgage program, and you're going to give them a call and just give them all that information. But these are $1, so it's like, why not, right? These are, aged final expense. So these are direct mail that's sent out to, a senior over 50 that is looking for final expense, and they've mailed it back in. There's a big amount here. It's 566, $1.50. I mean, that's a lot of leads that you can get. These ones here are aged mortgage mailers. It looks like, these ones are from maybe at least several years old. So, maybe they need to do a review. I mean, there's a really good phone script for the age ones, $250, you can't beat it. If you're on a budget, I have another agent, she's not on the call, but she has been using these, older leads here, and she's doing telesales with them on the phone. And she's been able to sell, I would say, she said she bought 200 of them, at the $2. So she's investing about $400. And she sold four policies. And she asked me, she's like, well, what kind of leads should I use? I want to get some newer leads. I'm like, why are you going to get newer leads when you're able to sell 4 policies? You have a return of investment of $4,000 on these leads that you've only invested 400. So, sometimes people get caught up and they want new leads, but if you learn to work any of these leads, it's about your investment cost, right? So obviously, if you're willing to pay more for your leads, you should have maybe a higher return, but your return on investment on something like this, you're going to work a little bit more, but you're going to see such a higher return on investment. Here's the final expense for, 30 to 60 days. So it just kind of goes through here. And then this is the other one that I was indicating to you guys. This is just, a Facebook, instant Facebook lead. So these ones are basically on the internet. Maybe they're Googling, how those boxes pop up whenever you're, looking at something. This one here indicates it's on Facebook. Okay. So these people, dropped in inventory, created $25. So live final expense Facebook lead. So this is also a final expense. Okay. So you're going to want to remember that when you're calling, or if you purchase any of these, that these people have, indicated that they want final expense. And, we discussed that. Obviously, it's just whatever insurance type. We have only 3 different types of insurances to pick from. It's whatever they can qualify for, and whatever's best for them. Okay. So, that's what I wanted to kind of go over is some of these leads here. I always recommend that we're going to use the CRM the most because I feel that there's a lot of availability here. Okay. If there's availability here, why not use it? And if you guys are being, good business owners, you would get on that work spots. I mean, if you say you wanted to purchase these aged final expense, $1.50, coupon comes across and it says 50% off. I mean, you're getting these leads for 75 cents. Now, 75 cents for somebody to contact is, that's a great deal, and you have so many shots to get in there. And if you spend $300 on that, you're going to see at least, hopefully $4,000 or $5,000 of revenue come in from these types of leads. So don't hesitate to focus on some of these ones and get caught up with, I need new leads, because you don't. You really just need people to talk to. So in order to do that, you guys have to get these leads. And I suggest, since we have all of these available for agents, to use these, right? And then, your CRM here, and I just want to kind of briefly go through this here. So, you're coming into your portal for Family First Life, you're going to go to the CRM, which is on your left. You're going to go, to order leads. You're going to go to buy cherry pick. The map will come up, and then you're going to go to whatever area you're next to, right? And then the manage leads here, if you click on this, you click to go to search, kind of just come up here. These are some of my leads, but it just, obviously we all have this, but it comes up here. So whenever you guys are going through here and you have your leads that are, I'm going to go to the instant ones. Well, I'll just leave this here. So whenever you're going through here, what you want to learn to do, and sometimes I'm really bad at this. So say you wanted to get the person's information, you're going to go to the pop-up, right? And everything comes up here. So you have basically a way that you can keep track of all of these families that you see. It says the person's name, their address, their phone number here. And then you can put in some information. You can put in notes, if they have objections, if they have anything else that they're interested in, the annuities, what kind of health issues that they have, that's available there for you. Also, what you would want to do is you want to go to, assign status. So once you go in and say you book an appointment, you're going to want to go here and you're going to want to kind of keep track of this, because that way you're able to know where you are with your leads. Okay. So, for instance, you call them, first call, I would say like first call session. So it's not like every time you make a dial on them, because usually if you're doing a dial session, you're going to want to call them like throughout the day, at least three times in a row the first time, and then, again in the afternoon and evening, right? So there's not enough space on there. So first call would be first dial day that you're calling them. Second call, if you decide to leave a voicemail, if you text them, if you plan on door knocking them, you can always change that status listed that, because then, and if you're ever bringing this back up, you can go to, your status of your lead, and you can go to door knock, and you're like, oh, these people are the ones that I door knocked because I haven't been able to get a hold of them. But obviously this process here is, typical of what you want to kind of follow, right? So the sixth thing you would do would be, do that door knock. Of course, if you get your appointment, you're going to click here, and that way you have the ones sorted out that you have the appointments with. If you submit an application and it's not approved, you can go ahead and put submit, maybe so you can go through, and check the ones that have been submitted that you have, maybe need to do a follow-up on or something like that. You're sold here. Obviously, if you sold the policy or closed, you can use either one of these depending on how you want to keep yours. In line, and this here is like if they declined on, the appointment, or they declined maybe with the policy, however you want to use that. Follow-up here is, something that you can use as well if maybe you need to do a follow-up. Okay. And then these are like, just other little ones here. I usually just, use these ones here. Okay. So those are just some important things that you guys want to kind of do. So I'm going to stop sharing here. I have, and I wanted to see if anybody hasn't, so I wanted to get into some objections. So once you do get these leads, right, what happens? You call them on the phone, and you're going to see if, they want you to come out, right? Or if you want to set it up for, a telephone appointment, or if you're doing Zoom. So, when we're doing these, all of us experience objections, right? So I kind of wanted to see if you guys want to let me know some of these objections that you've been getting. Those of you that are dialing, hopefully all of you guys are dialing, and getting some of these leads, and I can kind of help with that. If you guys have any questions on objections, like what is the main one that you're getting, let me know what type of lead type you're using, and we can kind of run through that. Does anybody want to give that a shot? No? Okay. So one of the main, I'll just go ahead and I guess role play with myself. So one of the objections that we always get is—
sorry, I'll role play. I was just talking and I was on mute.
No, it's okay. So you're making your dials. What are some of the objections that you get?
I didn't do it. I didn't fill this out. I don't know what you're talking
about. Fill that out. Okay. So if somebody tells me that they didn't fill it out, I say, okay, is there somebody in the home that would fill this out for you? We usually, when we get this back, it means that somebody has put in this information. Is there anybody in your home that would have filled this out for you? And you can kind of go from there, right? I mean, the other thing is, like, when somebody says that, right away, if they want to hang up on you, I call them right back, and I'm like, either sir, ma'am, Bob, obviously somebody had filled this out. I just have to make sure that we correctly resolve this, and nobody's filling this out in your name. So, who do you think would do that? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
I have one.
Okay, go ahead, Becky.
Yeah, I don't think I need this. What is this?
Hold on one second. So do you think that when they say that to you, that it's maybe the way that you're presenting the initial call? Because, you said, I don't know what this is. So one of the things, whenever you get an objection like that, one of the things that you need to focus on is, why are they coming at you like that? Have you, when you started the initial, conversation with them, how did you approach what you were mentioning to them? Were you nonchalant about it, like you were kind of beating around, like you didn't say you were requesting, life insurance, you had inquired about this on the internet? Like, you have to give those details and not be afraid to, because those are the people that are going to say, Oh yeah, I remember doing that. If somebody says to you when you're telling them, you have recently requested this information online, we just got this back here at the office. It's for your request for the life insurance programs that are currently in your area. I'm just, doing the follow-up. It looks like you have your birth date down as this and your address is this. Now, if they're saying, what are you talking about? And you've indicated, life insurance, and you've inquired it on, the internet, then, I would probably re-say exactly what I said to them. Yeah, Mary, the information you had requested through the internet for the life insurance, I'm just assigned to get you out that information. I just need to verify this. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what I do. I just wanted to hear you say it again. Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, and that's basically what I would do. Now, if they still say that they didn't, they get into, what Shorty had said, like, I didn't fill that out, then you're going into that, right? Then you're talking to them again about like, well, okay, Mary, who would fill this out for you? Worst case scenario, like I said, they hang up on you, you try to call them back. If they don't answer the phone, then you can send them out a text. Maybe they'll respond a little bit more to that. I would just say, hey, Mary, once again, I'm really just trying to help you get out this information that you had requested for the life insurance. I just want to review what you can qualify for and what's available for you in your area. I have availability on this day and that day, which day works best for you. So that you're, still kind of following up and you're not like just, leaving that lead there, right?
You know what, Stephanie, I got a question. Do you get a lot of people that just can't afford the insurance? Like you get, you're doing the financial inventory and you just realize, God, this is just going to be a real stress. So you get a lot of folks like that?
So unfortunately, I don't listen to that. One of the things is when somebody needs life insurance, everybody needs life insurance, right, Becky? If they can't afford the life insurance, there's something that they can afford that's going to be helpful for them to help their family. Because so we come into this world, right, and we all have our responsibilities that we have to do. I was talking the other day about this. Every day the Lord, I believe in the Lord. Every day the Lord wakes you up, there's something that we have to do, right? One of the things that I feel that most people maybe not agree with, but this is what I believe in, and this is why I feel like I do a decent, good job at my my career here, is because I believe that we all are responsible for specific things in our life, right? So if you can't afford a small $20 or even something like that, then you really just don't care about anybody besides yourself, right? There's always something, like if they're smoking cigarettes, do you know how much cigarettes are per pack? Now they're like $7. So, if you look at somebody's like habits of that, like, okay, Mary, you can't afford, $30, and maybe there's like tons of beer cans that are sitting in their can that you see. I mean, I'm not saying to like, criticize them, but realistically, everybody should have some type of life insurance. Now, they don't have to have, these $1 million policies or, extravagant ones, but they should at least have something. And I think that if you start to like believe that, everybody can have, insurance, then those types of people that are telling you that they can't afford it, you don't back down from, right? Because you have a belief that they need it and that it's going to help their family. And so you tell them, these hard things that maybe they don't understand, right?
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go for that. I'm gonna keep that in my head.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have that belief too, Becky. You have to believe that, that it's an essential thing for people, I mean, I know, many families, I mean, I don't know if you've personally experienced it. Maybe somebody in your family hasn't had any life insurance and how your family had to, deal and cope. So if they can't afford a little policy for somebody else right now, and they're leaving their burden onto somebody else to afford, then that's kind of just like, they don't care about anybody but themselves, right?
Gotcha. That makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Anyone else have any questions? What about you, Randy? I see you're unmuted.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hit the button by mistake. No, I was just listening to Nettie.
Okay.
that's an interesting that's an interesting way to approach that, because I get a lot of people that say that, no, I can't afford it, and I like that concept. Well, I think you can't afford not to have it, really.
Well, and absolutely. And then when somebody, and so, when somebody continually, after I'm like pointing this out, or I bring their program down to like, anybody can afford it. Like if you're, you have to even bring it down to $20 or $40, you're like, that's $10. And you could break it down into, how much it is per week. That's $10 a week if it's $40. It's $5 if it's, $20. And you're breaking it into days, like, oh, this is 75 cents a day. You can't afford that. Like, I mean, you probably see that go out and not even realize it every single day, right? And then if a family continues, and I know that they can afford it because, realistically, everybody can afford a little bit, right? Then I just know that that person isn't really serious. They have no sense of urgency. And then I kind of think to myself that they're selfish. So.
Stephanie, this is Danielle. I have a question.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Nice.
If you have a lead, and of course they say, I don't remember doing this, and they hang up on you, and you call them back and they don't answer, and they don't respond to a text, do you continue to call them?
I would do a door knock.
A door knock?
Yeah. I mean, that's my last resort, I would say, of trying to get a hold of them, because I really believe that we are actually doing them a favor by reaching out to them and getting them this information. One, as you guys could tell by the last comment, I think that everybody can afford it. And then two, I feel like I'm doing them a favor because I don't know who else is going to, come and try to help them. Right. So being able to go that extra step, if I send them a text, if I call them and they don't respond, and then I go to their door and they give me a hard time, then I know I've resolved it the best that I can, because I'm going and making that extra step to help them get this coverage for their family, so that they can have the protection, so that they can protect their family. And if they decide at the door knock that they don't, or and if they don't answer, you're going to leave a sticky note, right? And then you can kind of push that lead aside. You can decide to call it again, maybe in a month or so, but the door knock is usually the last resolve that I do.
Okay. And another thing,
Yeah.
I had 90 leads and I got 2 people to answer out of those 90 leads. Do you continue to call them? How many times? I mean,
So what kind of leads did you get?
A mixture, instant and 1 month and 3 month,
Okay.
internet leads. I guess that it's just, life insurance.
Okay. Did you use the work spots and get a discount, or?
No, I didn't. No, but I did get a discount because it was Halloween.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah, I got a really good
Okay. Good.
price on them.
Okay, so that's good. So, when it comes to, you not being able to get a hold of them, I would start sending out the text messages. Also, I use, it's called Phone Burner. So, you can get 3 lines for $10 a month. And that can be, obviously a business expense. And so you can get several different phone numbers in your area. What time of day are you calling them? Are you calling them, in the morning, the afternoon, and then in the night? Are you, sending them text messages? I would send a text message to each and every one of them. Hi, Mary, this is Danielle. I'm trying to get a hold of you in regards to a request that came through at our office for your life insurance information. They've assigned me to get this out to you. It takes 10 to 15 minutes. Are you available, this upcoming whatever days you're going to do it? And then, you go through all of those and you send that out through your, obviously, I would use the Phone Burner, because you don't really want all of that on your personal phone, just because you want to kind of keep it separate, if that makes sense. So you can kind of, know who's calling and which area, they're calling from. So it just makes it easier. And then, once you get through all of those, text messages, and you can see if anybody responds, you can always send out another one, a follow-up. Hey, just giving you, another shout out to make sure that you had received the first one about the life insurance, copy and paste the first one, who knows? And then, do set up a, door knocking route and then see how those go. But, if you bought, those internet leads and stuff, and you bought 90 of them and you got a really good discount on them, how much did you end up spending on those?
Like $400. It was around
Okay.
there somewhere.
Okay. So, you're definitely going to hopefully see about, you want to see at least 10 times what you spend, right? Anywhere from, I would say 10 times. So you want to see at least $4,000 back. So you're going to have to work
Okay.
those maybe a little bit more, but you're going to see that result. And then the other thing you're going to do is you're going to have to continually buy these leads. Like for me, like I have to buy them every single week. I'm set up on something, regardless of what my, results are from the last week. I just add more into the pipeline. So that way I'm able to continually, have new fresh ones so that I don't feel like I'm banging my head up against the wall with those ones, right? So that's something else that you guys want to get used to doing. I mean, you got to remember that those are really the only way that you're going to make money. You can sell, like I said, to your family, your friends, whatever you would like to do, but you're not going to have a sustainable business doing that. But I know a lot of people they like, hey, I need to get some extra money. The commission's, very high here, but you have to also structure your business. I have to go through, 50% when I make a sale goes to my business and 50% goes to my personal. And you have to keep that going, or you're going to find that you're going to take yourself out of business. So for instance, Danielle, those leads that you bought, when did you buy those?
Just this past weekend,
Okay.
over the weekend.
Okay, good. So just continue to, in that. So if you just did, the dial day on Monday and you got a hold of how many?
Two
Two.
people.
And then how about today?
I haven't dialed yet today. I was,
Oh, well, you should be out there dialing. You know what time it is?
I know it. Well, for
You-
me, it's still kind of early, but
Okay.
I usually wait until 2:00, and because I find that's my most successful time is between 4 and 6 my time.
But you said you only had 2 people pick up.
Right, I
So,
know.
no, that's not the most successful. The most successful times to dial are 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then if you want to do 2 to, I would say 1 to, 3, and then I would do, 5 to 7. And I would
Okay.
do those
I-
specific time frames because you're going to have
I've
to.
never broken it up like that. I like that
Please
idea.
do.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah, no, please do, because you're
Okay.
gonna see that some people pick up, all of your people that you have, maybe they're not picking up because maybe they're not available at that time of the day. So I would try and I do them early in the morning.
Great.
Maybe
Thank
tomorrow,
you.
get up early in the morning and see what you have, okay?
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, does anybody else have any questions or anything today? It's a little over the 30 minutes, so I hope it was helpful for everybody.
Great meeting. Appreciate all your sharing your experience. That'll be helpful.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was. Thank you, Stephanie.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, well, everybody, I hope that you get on those phones and continue dialing. And I'd love to see you guys, out there making money. I mean, that's why we're doing this, right? Because we want to see a better future for our families and for ourselves. In order to do that, we have to put in the activity and the work to do that. So, you guys just continue doing that. And I know all of you will see success. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. You guys should all have my phone number. Give me a call if you have any questions, and looking forward to seeing you guys all again next week. So bye.
Thanks, Steph.
Have a nice trip.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.